is no stranger. He's been here 3 or 4 times. Every year he comes back to, or he tries to come back to share with us what he has and what's new and what has been taken off market. His name is Roger Doyne. Mr. Doyne was born and raised in Little Rock, Arkansas. His early days were spent in the old Granite Mountain area, and later his mother, okay, so I can't see good, moved the family back to College Station, his birthplace. He graduated from Parkview High School in 1979 and went on to attend U.of.A. Fayetteville, Oral Roberts University, and recently U.of.A. Little Rock, where he completed a Bachelor's of Arts degree in professional and technical writing with a double minor in religious studies and nonprofit management. So we're going to ask Mr. Roger Doyne to come to the podium. Give him a hand as he comes.
Good morning, Short College.
Good morning. Good morning. Have a seat.
It's good to be back with you. I was here a couple of years ago. I've actually been serving Short College since 2014. Well, I want you to look to your neighbor and say, don't go to sleep.
Don't sleep.
You know, that's like they say, don't look at your toilet, you just looked at it, right? So I say, stay awake. How about that? Chaplain Mary, thank you again for trusting in us and inviting us to come year after year. We really appreciate coming and serving your student body here. My name again is Roger Doyne. Phonetically, Doyne. It's not spelled like that. It's spelled D-O-Y-N-E. I am from College Station, Arkansas. How many of you know where College Station is? Yeah, the old Bucktown. Yeah, College Station is the place that Granite Mountain, Sweet Home, East End, all the surrounding areas would come to party on the weekend. The place they call the Pike. My dad had a barbershop on the Pike, and so I grew up on the Pike with all the juke joints and all that was going on. Many times we'd be in the news Sunday morning. Well, the tornado of 1997 ended all that. Came and took out the liquor store, the juke joints, and then it came right across town and hit my house. Took my entire second floor off. My wife, my mother, my 2 daughters, we were downstairs. So we were right in the middle of that tornado in 1997. The Lord blessed us to come out of that.
Amen.
I'm the owner of Roger Doyne and Associates Insurance Agency. We are located on the corner of Roosevelt and Broadway. How many of you have seen my signs out there? Right at that corner, counter corner of the Sharks. I know all of you know where the Sharks is. But we're across the street from Sims Barbecue. Everybody in the house knows where Sims Barbecue is. So that's where our company is. We'd love for you to come by and see us. I'm here today with the few minutes I have to talk to you about what we do most, and that is health insurance. We are a full service agency. We not only do health, we do life, auto, home, accident, disability. We do all the insurances, but 90% of what I do is health insurance. I came into the industry during the same time that they brought Obamacare to town, and Shorter College was one of our first clients. So I've been doing Obamacare since its inception. A lot of people think that Obamacare was canceled by President Trump. That is not true. He canceled the penalty for not having insurance. And so this is actually the first year that you will not be penalized if you do not have insurance. However, it is still law that everyone is supposed to have health insurance, but they took the stinger out. You know. So it's still available for those of you that want it. So our goal this morning here, when we leave, we want you to be fully aware of what is available for you, and we want to kind of share with you the pathway to get it and talk about some of the challenges for those of you that had it. How many of you currently, well, it's not called Obamacare any longer, it's called AR Works. So how many of you have AR Works? Let me see your hand. Raise your hand. Really? Okay, so if you don't have AR Works, traditionally Obamacare, let me see your hand if you have private health insurance. Okay, a few more. How many of you are on the marketplace? You have marketplace insurance. Okay, there's one other category, and I'm going to ask this question, then I'm going to ask, what's y'all's problem? You don't have health insurance, because it's available for you. For most of you, it's free. So you didn't answer all three of those. So how many of you are on your parents' health insurance? Okay. Let's have complete honesty. Raise your hand if you do not have health insurance. Thank you. One more category. Raise your hand if you didn't answer any of those questions. That's where the majority of you are. Okay, so let me tell you what's available for you. If you are a single individual and your income is less than $17,236 a year, you qualify for complete full coverage health insurance through the AR Works program. All you have to do is get an application from me, fill that application out, or I can send the application to you online through DocuSign. You can actually go in to your email, fill it out, sign it online, and send it back to me. I'll get that submitted to you, and we can get you approved for full coverage health insurance. And so there's no reason anyone in here shouldn't have health insurance. Either we qualify you for the free health insurance, or you have health insurance on your job, or you can have health insurance through your parents up to age 26. You can be on your parents' health insurance. Or you make too much money for the free, and you can go into the marketplace. Now, the marketplace is only available, the marketplace is Obamacare, that the other side of Obamacare that you pay for if you don't qualify for the free. So there's two sides of Obamacare. There's the free side and there's the paid side. The free side is through the Medicaid department. Let me give you these figures, and I have this, my mic is going off and on. I have these figures, and if you want to get a copy of it, if someone, you can come take a picture of it. Everybody has a phone. Now these are the family size of those of you who can get the insurance for free. Again, if you're single, $17,236. You qualify for total free health insurance. If you have one child or you have a household size of 2, you can make up to $23,336. If you have a household size of 3, now let me back up just a little bit. Even if the law says if you work for an employer that offers health insurance, you do not qualify for Obamacare. You have to take that insurance unless you qualify for Medicaid. And then you can deny the insurance and get the free insurance. And to qualify for Medicaid, you have to fall under these income limits that I'm giving you now. So you could work for Shorter College, and Shorter College offers you health insurance. The law says you have to take it. Unless, for instance, you are a household of 5, you and 4 children. If you're single, you can make up to $41,635. If you're a household of 5 and you own a job that offers you insurance, if your income is under that, you qualify for total free health insurance. So single, $17,236, household 2, $23,336, household 3, $29,435, Household of 4, $35,535. Household of 5, $41,635. Household of 6, $47,734. Household of 7, $53,834. And a household of 8, $59,933. Now, I am a household of 6. I'm sorry, single young ladies, I'm married. She's like, where did that come from? Now, my wife is a school teacher, so I'm on her insurance. But if my wife was a housewife and she didn't have income, and of course I've got 4 children in college now, but if they were all home, under 26, and my wife is at home, and we're taking care of all of them, I'm a household of 8. That means I can make up to $59,933 and still qualify for total free health insurance. Now, I don't qualify because obviously I'm an entrepreneur, my wife works, so I'm on her insurance. If you fall within those lines, you need to see me, pick up an application so that we can get you qualified. Between the ages of 19 and 64, you're in the AR Works or Obamacare under 65. And if you fall within these limits, you can get it for free. If you're over 65, you are in the Medicare, which we do also. So if you have parents, grandparents, uncles, aunts that need someone to counsel them on that, they can see me as well. This is open enrollment for both. I keep calling it Obamacare, but it's no longer called Obamacare, but you know what I'm talking about. This is open enrollment for both Obamacare and Medicare. But it's only open enrollment for the Obamacare that's over the limits that you have to go into what we call the marketplace and pick you a plan that you have to pay for if you're over the income limits and you don't have insurance on your job. So I get calls all the time that says, I have insurance on my job, but it's too high. I want to get insurance from Obamacare. I want to go on the marketplace because you get tax credits on the marketplace to drive down the insurance to make it affordable. And that is not a good call for me because I have to inform them that if you are working and your employer offers you insurance, you no longer qualify for the tax credit on the marketplace, which means you have to pay full cost. And I tell you right now, that's going to be too expensive without the tax credits. So they say, well, what do I do? It's too expensive on my job. I can't afford that. You're telling me I don't qualify for the tax credit on the marketplace. Then what can I do? There's one other thing that you can do. President Trump killed the penalty for not having insurance, which opened the door for other insurance companies like Blue Cross Blue Shield to offer lower cost plans. So we can sell you a private plan that's probably cheaper than what it would cost you, full cost on the marketplace. This battery is probably low because it keeps going in and out of, I don't know who handles that, if they have another, let me try this one.
Yeah, and turn that one off.
Test it, 1, 2. Okay, we'll try this one. So they have some short-term plans for 1 year or 3 years, and so you'll have to sit down with me and we can go over that and see what you're afford. All right, anybody gonna come see me?
Yes.
Now, if you come to see me and you fill out an application for Medicaid, because you say, Mr. Doyne, I fall within those income limits, hallelujah, I'm gonna get free insurance. We fill out an application, but you put on that application that you have children and you are not working, then you're gonna fall into the category they call parent caretaker, traditional Medicaid, which means that you will not have the opportunity to pick a plan with Blue Cross Blue Shield, Better, or Qual Choice. This can get a little complicated, but because of the new law, that they expanded Medicaid with the new Obamacare, they signed an agreement that allows us to pick a plan with the major carriers. For those of you who qualify, Blue Cross Blue Shield, A.M.E, Qual Choice. How many of you have A.M.E? How many of you have Blue Cross Blue Shield and on Obamacare? How many of you have Qual Choice? But if you are two categories, if you check the box that says that you have a disability, or you check the box that says I have children and I'm not working, you will not get the opportunity to pick a plan. They will put you in traditional Medicaid, which means you'll still have health insurance, but there's some limitations. There's some limitations on how many times you can, which doctors accept traditional Medicaid. There's limitations on the amounts of medicines that you can get. They have quantity limits, and you fall under some of those situations there. And there's nothing we can do about it. So I just wanted you to know that. Also, when Obamacare came out in 2014, there was one company, A.M.E, that gave you dental and vision. And they did that for 1 year. And then all the carriers agreed that they would no longer offer dental and vision. So many people will call me and say, well, I don't have dental and vision on my plan. Well, that's law. There's no dental or vision. We'll have to sell you a private dental and vision policy, which you can get for around $21 a month. Okay? Beg pardon?
You offer that?
I offer that as well.
Okay.
We can sign you up, and we can go through the choices. There's several choices that you can sign up for, but there's no dental and vision on these plans. All right, yearly requalification. See, you guys are not participating much with me this morning, so you're not answering my questions. But I have another question for you. How many of you who have had AR Works Obamacare and you've had your policy canceled? Okay? That's for various reasons, but one reason, the main reason, is that on your anniversary day, you're going to get a letter in the mail for you to recertify. And that is so that they can find out that you're still living in Arkansas and that your income is still within the limits. When it first started, there was a lot of, especially students, they were in school in Arkansas, they get the insurance, they go back to their hometown, and if they had Blue Cross Blue Shield, they were using their coverages in another state, because Blue Cross Blue Shield was national. And so Blue Cross are getting all these bills in from Chicago and California and all over the place, and they say, what's going on? So they killed that. For this program, if you have Blue Cross Blue Shield or any other, it's only for the state of Arkansas. And so they start this requalification every year, where you have to verify that you stay in Arkansas, and you have to verify your income. They're going to give you 30 days to answer that question. Now, I enroll students at Philander, UAPB, all around, and traditionally, students don't answer their mail, okay? And so they get these notices. They'll only give you 30 days, and if you don't answer, they're going to cancel your insurance. Now, if you catch that within a 60 to 90-day period and call and give them the information they want, they'll renew your coverage. But if you go beyond 60 to 90 days, you've got to go through the entire application process. I have hundreds of files in my office from students over the years whose insurance has been canceled, and they never, I don't know what they're doing, they never tried to get it back on again. So get with me if you've had your insurance canceled, so that we can help you get it back on again. All right, we're tracking down to the close here. I would love to represent every one of you in this room. There's no reason why I couldn't represent each one of you. Now, let me tell you why that's important. Some of you have gone to DHS and filled out an application and you've gotten approved. Some of you have gone to health fairs, or even here, A.M.E or Blue Cross may have come here to enroll you. And that's fine. You have the coverage, but what you don't have is representation. So that if you get that mail, that letter in the mail, and you don't understand it, or you go to the doctor's office, and this has happened numerous times, people thinking they have insurance, they'll go to the doctor's office or even the hospital, only to find out that their insurance was canceled. But what do you do at that point? Call DHS? How many of you tried to do that? if you get them to answer the phone. And even if they answer the phone, you may or may not get someone who's willing to go the extra mile to help you. Well, if you're in that situation, you have to make one call, and that's to me. Because on my application, we have a consent form that you sign for me to represent you. And so I can actually call DHS on your behalf. Now, I've been doing this for a number of years, and I've developed relationships at DHS and different places where I can get it done. I can get you renewed. I have your application in office. I can resubmit it. So in other words, I can represent you. Now, in order for me to do that, the only way that I can get you as my client is during open enrollment, is where we are now, November 1st through December 15th. You have a portal. Each one of you have a portal. But most of you probably can't get into your portal because you don't know what your user or password is. If they sign you up, many times they don't give you your user and password, and they'll answer the 3 security questions for you. And so if you tried to get into your portal, you couldn't do it. So I have a phone number here if you want to write it down, or you can come to my table when you leave here and take a picture of it. The phone number is 855-550-3974. That's 855-550-3974, option 1. You want to call them and ask them, you want to recover your user and password. And they're going to ask you 2 security questions. Now, if you don't know the answer to these security questions, you need to ask them to give you a clue, okay? And they'll help you to guess what it is. And sometimes that's a challenge because if you got signed up at DHS, they didn't tell you what your user and password is. So you'll need to get that. And once you get that, they'll give you a user or they'll reassign you a password. You get that to me, I can get into your portal, put my ID number there, and then I can serve as your representation. Okay? All right, let's finish out by saying that health insurance is what I do most, but I'm also a full service, I do it all. I want to spend my last few minutes talking to you about life insurance. How many of you have ever had a loved one to pass, or someone that you know, and they had to take up an offering to bury them? See, that's a tragedy. That's a tragedy on many levels. That's a tragedy because you were not prepared to, the person was not prepared to die. You know, you all study the scriptures here, and the scriptures clearly teach that we're gonna die. Okay? And so, thankfully, they teach you all here that you have to prepare your soul for the eternities. But you also have to prepare those that you leave behind. So it's a tragedy on one sense. There's no resources to bury you, but this is the biggest tragedy. Many of us have children and loved ones that we leave behind, and there's no benefits left for them. Now, our brothers and sisters of the lighter hue, many of them have learned to use this as a strategy for family inheritance. I came across a brother of the lighter hue that told me that the family, the 5 siblings, took out a life insurance policy. It was either on their parents or their grandparents. And it was so expensive that most of them were paying $400 or $500 a month for the life insurance policy. But when she died, say that with me, when she died, a blessing came. It was over $1 million policy. They all paid off their houses, paid off their cars, and they were thanking the Lord for the blessing. This is how they transfer family inheritance, because when you're your age, you can get in life insurance. For some of us, when you're young, you can get in life insurance for pennies on the dollar. 20s, 30-year-old, you can get life insurance for pennies on the dollar. When I was 34 years old, I knew I was going to have a large family. So I took out a $400,000 term life insurance policy for 20 years while I raised my children. Because to get a $400,000 whole life policy would have been too expensive. I was, young, only making a certain amount of money. $45 a month, I had a $400,000 life insurance for my 6 children. So if the Lord called me home, everything was paid for them for college. Then you get a whole life to last your whole life, to bury you and take, for whatever you need to do. For your age, 20s, 30s, $10 a month, $10, $15 a month, we can get you a $100,000 term life insurance. Get it for 20 years or 30 years. I got it for 20. I should have gotten it for 30. Cover your children. There's absolutely no reason why those of you that have children, that your children, if you were to go home, that your children should have to worry about college or house. Because it's pennies on the dollar for you. Let's make a commitment. Those of you, especially those of you, let me see those of you that have children. Those of you that have children, that you would give your children the best Christmas gift that you can give them. That you would come and sit down with me or someone else and look at what your options are in both term and whole life. You can get, at your age, it's time to lock in a whole life policy that will last the rest of your life. Now, you can't get $500,000 or $1 million, it'll cost you too much. And so you can do 2 things, and I'll close with this. You can lock in a whole life policy with whatever your budget can afford. And then you can do one other thing. You can get a term policy for over $100,000 for while your children are growing up. Or you can get with a broker and start investing $25, $30 a month. So you'll be self-insured by the time you get my age. Okay? So there are strategies that we can follow, but ignorance should not be one of the reasons why our children suffer. Because having been here today, we just dispelled ignorance because now we know. So if we don't do anything after today, it's called neglect. It's called neglect, okay? So let's not neglect our loved ones. Thank you again for this time. Chaplain Mary, thank you again for allowing me to come. And you guys know where we are. We're on the corner of Roosevelt and Broadway. Come see me. My phone number is 501-255-0130. God bless you, Chaplain.